Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me on my journey, and if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join me on my journey. If you have not already done so, please like and subscribe, and any comments or feedback that you provide is very helpful to me. I am in my almost 3 months into my journey here on YouTube, and I like to be able to give quality content, but also I do read all of the comments, and if there is anything that I can change or that I can do to make these videos better for you to watch, please let me know, and if it's in my power to do so, I will definitely try my best. So this is the third installment of my Newbie to Newbie 4-part series, and this is the third of the 4, so there's one more to go after this. And when I was compiling this listing together, I thought maybe I should put number 11, which is what we're going to be working on right now, at the top of the list, because this entire project was kind of inspired by her. So number 11 is the 19 by 19 challenge that I first saw by Rochelle, which is Rochelle from Plans by Rochelle. And what she had done was she had taken, I want to say it was a classic size, and she had originally done or wanted to do 19 things to do by the end of 2018 to get her into 2019, but it ended up only being 18 boxes, and so she went with it. But I loved that idea. So my tip for this is really, I didn't have 19 things that I wanted to do before 2019. I can't think that I had 5 things that I'd like to do or finish before 2019. So I couldn't use that idea in the original intent. So I guess my tip for this is, if you are inspired by something that you see on YouTube or Instagram or in Facebook groups, because there's lots of planner Facebook groups, it doesn't mean that you're constrained to that original idea. So for my idea, the way that I've changed it up was, as a new person to both the planning community as well as to the YouTube community, these are a 4-part series on my 19 tips for 2019. So similar and yet different. So that's number 11, and I actually should go back and say in this series number 3, we're going to be doing 11 through 15. Now, before I started filming for today's version, because I was going to keep it on here, I really thought about redoing this, and this is actually the second redo, maybe the third. So yeah, originally I had listed here, no, it's the third, because originally I had it listed here because I wanted to make sure, if at all possible, I could find the names of everyone that I would be referencing. And then I thought, okay, let me put a little bit more notes on it, and then this is my second rendition. And then I thought, okay, let me make it YouTube and Instagram worthy, and I did it this way. And here's next week's installment. But the one that Rochelle did was super pretty. So I was going to do this yet again, and then just do all the little boxes, and then just sort of encapsulate just a little snip of what everything was. But no one has time for that. I don't have time for that. I'm pretty sure you don't have time for that. So I'm like, you know what? No, that's fine. And I've used my stickers that I don't want to go to waste, even though I have lots of stickers. So Yeah, so that's number 11. So this is my ode to the 19 by 19 that I received inspiration from Rochelle, and I will link the channels below. I actually have a running list of all of the people that I've inspired to, or I've been inspired by up and through this video, and I'll just continue to add to that listing. Number 12 is from A. Renee from Journal Jot and Jive. Now, I believe she was inspired by someone else, and she links it in her video, and I will both link her channel if it isn't already, because I love her channel, but I'll see if I can find the original video. And what she had done in that video was she had made a, let's see if I can find one. So number 12, I'm really going to hopefully that I can edit that smoothly, but number 12 is a DIY glam washi cutter. So what A. Renee had done, and she's from Journal Jot Jive here on YouTube as well as on Instagram, she had seen someone who had covered a gift card or credit card or whatever, because a lot of people use this to cut their washi as a flat edge to get a nice flat or straight edge on your washi tape. And so she covered it with washi. Again, you're not going to cover either end of this because that's where you're using as your flat edge, and you don't want that dull in any way. And it came out super cute. I don't use this. I don't find this very helpful to me because sometimes, depending on the washi that I'm using, it's a little thicker than most, and this doesn't cut as well as I'd like it to. So what I've done was kind of hacked her hack, because I use a putty knife that I picked up from Walmart. I actually had wanted to find, it was a little artist knife that Cindy from, gosh, I know it's Llama Letters. I think that's what her page used to be called, but now she actually uses her name, so it's like Cindy something something. Anyway, she uses a little, it's like a small little artist putty knife, but I couldn't find that at my local Walmart. So I found this in the paint section, and I thought, well, maybe I can decorate this. And I actually did this earlier today, and I think it's super cute. Now, I did not, and hopefully you can see that, I did not cover the tip because I want that to be as sharp as possible, because this is what I use in the event that I do use washi, which isn't very often, at least in my planner. I want it to still be functional, but I think this is really cute, and because I don't need this actual surface like you would if you were putting on spackle or whatever people use this for. Paint? Do people use this for paint? Plaster? I don't know. It was in the paint section, so it must be some kind of paint related thing. But I think it's nice to look at, and I am happy with the results. So if you have a leftover gift card or old credit card that you're not using, you can definitely make it prettier. And it's not functional. It absolutely serves no function other than it's pretty to look at, and you may want to use it more just because it is pretty to look at. But this is my ode to that hack that A. Renee from Journal Jot and Jive had, or it's not Journal, yeah, no, Journal Jot and Jive had shown on her channel. And she does the DIY on camera, so she shows you how to wrap washi. But if you've ever used washi, this is not something that you'll look at and just wonder how I did it. I basically wrapped it around the knife thing, and there actually, because it is a tapered surface, there is a better side. So this is the good side, and I kept it on where this would be, because this just inherently means the front to me. And on the back side, some of it's a bit wonky, and again, it's not horrible. It doesn't hurt my feelings or anything, but I mean, the front side is the prettier of the two. and that is hack number 12. Tip number 13 is not so much a planner hack, but it is something that, and I just noticed something, so let me change it. Tamika from Pastries, Pumps, and Pie, she also has a YouTube channel. She does fabulous videos, and if you have not seen it, you need to see her pumpkin recipe. It's not a DIY. What do you call it? Yeah, her pumpkin recipe. I'll link it below. But she made this pumpkin thing back in November of this month, and I didn't make the item, but the quality of the video was amazing. And then that's her very first food video, and I can imagine, based on the editing and the way that it flowed so seamlessly, that it must have taken forever. But I really hope that along with the planning videos that she does, she also does more of the cooking videos, because she's really good at it. Anyway, tip number 13 is more of I don't know exactly how to say it, because at the beginning of every one of her videos, she always tells you to slay, which is SLA, which is subscribe, like, and accept notifications, so that you're always aware of when your YouTube friends load a video. And I love that idea. Now, I won't take it, but I did want to just point out that there is so much creativity in not just the planner community, because there is, but also in the YouTube community, because I mean, I've never seen that before, and I watched endless amounts of YouTube videos, and I just thought that was something that I needed to put on this list, if for no other reason than to call to action those of you who are doing YouTube videos. Because I mean, if you do use this, definitely reference Tamika said this, because again, I've never heard anyone else say this, but also think of ways that you can either call your followers cute names, because I know some YouTubers do that. If you can make something that sounds like something else work in this fashion. So you definitely want to slay the day, and you definitely want to slay on her channel, because you do want to follow her. So it's more of a tip ode in that respect. And again, not so much of a planning tip, but if you are going to do YouTube videos, and even though it's scary and it's a lot of work, I definitely recommend it, because it's interesting. It keeps you sort of committed to the process, but it also, to me, it makes me more accountable, because I do want to load videos 3 times a week, and I hold myself accountable to that. And that's not something that I've always done, because I'm great with coming up with ideas. I can actually follow and usually create the ideas that I've had in my head, but I'm not always great at doing the final steps. So this journey has definitely helped me with that. So that's number 13. Number 14, I am quite pleased with myself. Now, what I've done for number 14 was I've taken something that Karina loves to plan, and she again is another YouTuber here on YouTube. It's really late, guys, so please bear with me. But Karina loves to plan. She does mini happy planning, and she actually, if I'm not mistaken, has 2. She has a regular horizontal planner that she journals in, and I love that, but she also has one where she has used the services of a lady on Etsy to create her own customized weekly layout for her mini. Now, I did not reach out to that Etsy person. So, I mean, I think her name is List Lab. I will look at Karina's video, and then I will also link both Karina's video as well as the Etsy shop on her, because again, this is not my idea. But I wanted to start with a baseline of this idea so that I can show you my hack of it. So what Karina has done was she had reached out to this Etsy seller who does digital downloads and who does have other mini Happy Planner downloads, and she had List Lab. Ugh, I really should have written that down, but whatever. She had that person create this customized view, and the genius of it is a week, just like all weeks are in our Happy Planners, but it's a week on 2 pages. But I think what she had done, and the reason why she had that Etsy seller customize it for her, is she uses a lot of kits, I think, that are sized for the Erin Condren. They might be sized for the Happy Planner. I don't know. I don't buy kits. But she's able to get a lot of decorating space in this particular format, as well as use the boxes so that she doesn't have to cut them down. And I think that's genius. So what I did was I took some cardstock that I had and I measured it down so that it would fit like this, so it would fit in the Happy Planner. And then I measured across, and it's about 4 inches across, so these boxes are 2 inches approximately. My measurement skills are not that great. And then I just sort of mock planned just to show you. And the ones that she does is excellent because she has definitely got an eye for design. She's got an eye for placement. She uses lots of glitter headers and oh, it's so pretty. But she also gets a lot of functional planning in there. So not only is it decorative, but it's functional. Genius. But the other part of this is she pre-plans. So that's what this is. So at the beginning, this has all of the days of the week, and I believe what she does is she will list things here that she's going to then migrate into these pages, and that's genius. So for the next week, and I had messed this up when I did this because this is supposed to be another one of those like this. And yeah, I totally messed that up. And then it's a little confusing to me how it all works out. So this. So no, it isn't confusing. It's just my brain is not really on the page. So yeah, it always... and she must be a whiz at printing because this would mess me up because she does do 2 sides. So you've got your week at a glance all on 1 page, and then you've got a more extended week at the glance on 2 pages so that you can do your decorating. You close that up nice and neat, turn the page, and then you're going to have the exact same thing for the next week, so that this would have been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you'd have another page here. Love it. I love watching her decorate these pages just because she does it so well. However, again, I think if I were to do this, I think the printing would just escape me because it's a lot of finagling back and forth. And 2, because I don't use a lot of sticker kits, excuse me, I don't know if this is something that I'd want to do. Plus, I'm sure it would bulk up the planner because you've got, I think, a lot of extra pages. And because I throw this in my purse, that just wouldn't be conducive for me. So what my hack is, and what I thought I could also use, because I mean, it's one thing to do a hack of a hack, but if it's not useful, then who cares, is this is the last week that I planned in my mini, and then for this upcoming week, what I've done was I picked up, and I have a bunch of these in my stash because I sometimes include these with the traveler's notebooks that I create because it's something that people can stick in the notebooks inserts that I provide. Here in Hawaii, I can get the 5x7 notebooks fairly easily. It's a little bit costly, but I can do it. But what I cannot get a hold of are the monthly or the weekly calendars that people pick up in Dollar Tree because we don't have Dollar Tree here. So I like to provide some things like this that if you wanted to turn your notebook into like a weekly calendar, at least you'd have some things to start with. And then you could go from there. So what I've done from Karina's idea was I just washied this in, and I just stuck it here. And this is something I've seen in the bullet journal community as sort of a tip-in, I think is what it's called. But I just folded it so that for the week of the 24th through the 30th, I could either go crazy with the decorating, not leave a lot of white space, but then have room here on the side to do some actual planning, or I could pre-plan to see, okay, let me see how many activities I have for the week, and then I can decorate around the activities. You could also, if you had personal things here, business things here, but I just like the idea that I have 2 weeks or 2 times a week at a glance, so that, and that's directly attributed to this, where she does her pre-planning there, and then she does her actual planning here. I think that's just a genius idea, and hopefully I'm conveying it correctly. And like I said, I will link both a video, because she does weekly decorates or plan with me's in her mini. So I'll link one of them down there, and then I'll also link the shop that she purchased her digital download from. And she does mention always that this was a custom that she had asked the Etsy seller to make for her, but she also says that she doesn't see why the Etsy seller would not be able to create something similar, if not the same, for you. So definitely, if you're interested, reach out, because I mean, clearly you can make the layout by hand, but that's going to take forever. The final of this number 3 series is something that's sort of a mishmash between two different planners. So number 15 is a shop your stash, hashtag shop your stash, and DIY planner kit. So Renee, that I've mentioned earlier in this video, from Journal Jot and Jive, and I don't know that I ever caught the name of this person, but the person with a Plan to Create channel here on YouTube had created a DIY planner kit, and they're sort of a riff on the same thing. So if you're the kind of planner that likes to buy planner kits, I think the attraction to the planner kits is you can decorate either the week or the month. Again, I don't buy planner kits, so I don't know if they are done on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, but you can buy them and you have everything together. I think there are subscription boxes you can buy where it has not only stickers, but it might have scrapbook paper and washi that coordinate for the month so that you can have your either monthly or weekly spreads all tie in together. Well, what the lady at Plan to Create did was she looked at a month and she decided, okay, I'm going to look what I have in my stash, and I'm going to pick out the washi tape, and I'm going to pick out the stickers and the scrapbook paper, and I'm going to create my own kit. And then I'm just going to use that for the month because she just had so many supplies. Renee does the same thing where she's like, okay, before you buy another sticker book, and I buy them a lot, so I think she was scolding me, or she might have been encouraging me, depending on how you look at it. But she's like, use what you have. So there's no reason why you can't shop your stash, try to save a little bit of money, but also utilize the things, because I do understand with the vast amount of sticker books that I have, sometimes I don't want to use them because they are so hard for me to get, because I typically have to order them online. Amazon or Walmart are my two favorite, just because shipping can usually be either very low or free. So I don't want to not have stickers. But on the other hand, then it's just a complete waste if you buy them and you don't use them. So I think that is a very useful tip. So if you're just starting out, you might not have a lot of washi. You might not have a lot of sticker books. You might not have a lot of scrapbook paper. But if you assemble all of the things you do have, you might have a little bit more than you realize, and it might actually go a little bit better together than you might have realized, because it could either be coordinating colors, or you might have completely opposite end of the color range of items. But that sometimes can be a very dynamic thing. For instance, blue and yellow are opposite, I believe opposite ends, or no, it's blue and orange, or opposite ends of the color spectrum. But together, they can be quite dynamic. So just because you think things might not go, they might actually go better than you think. Or if you have a planner kit that you didn't use everything for, but you've got a number of them, you might be able to create a cohesiveness with the varying colors or textures or whatever, with some other things you have in your stash, so that you don't have to keep buying new products, because I'm all for buying the things. I know I shouldn't be, but you know, we want what we want. But sometimes I think you might be able to create something that's just as dynamic, if not more so, by mix and matching the products that you have and putting it out in a layout that'll make you happy. Because for those of us who decorate our planners, it's more because it'll either make us motivated to plan for the next week, or it'll make us motivated to come back and plan for the current week. So yep, that's tip number 15. And then next week's will be the last of this 4-part series. I think I've rambled a bit much because there hasn't been a lot to show, but I hope you found it useful. If you have, leave me a comment below. If you haven't, leave me a comment below. I am trying to utilize all the feedback that I receive and use it to be more purposeful. I'm so tired. More purposeful, but also make better content, just because I'd like to grow my channel. I'd like to grow it slowly so that I can interact with my followers. And I'm going to tell you right now, I started this in early October of 2018, and I actually had 9 followers because I had a video that I loaded for one of my master's classes, and that had gotten some followers that never unsubscribed, so that's awesome. So at the beginning of October 2018 through today, I think earlier I checked and I had, if not 100, almost 100 subscribers in the last couple of months, and that is both humbling and awesome. So thank you for following me on my journey. And where this is going is, if the lighting is bad, or the audio is bad, or the content could use improvement, tell me. I respond to criticism or critical feedback, because I do want this to be as best as I can make it with the tools that I have. Okay, guys? So until next week, when we finish out our journey for the Newbie to Newbie series, I want to say, as always, aloha.